There was a warrior in feudal Japan who was so feared in battle that his enemies would surrender before he even swung his blade. And his secret had nothing to do with his sword. It had everything to do with what he refused to feed inside himself. See, most guys today are losing a war they don't even know they're fighting. Every day, the phone unlocks, the scroll starts, and before you even realize what happened, you've already lost. Again. But the samurai, they had a system, a brutal, elegant system for mastering the one enemy that's taken down more men than any army ever could. Lust. And today, we're going to steal that system.
Here's something they don't teach you in school. The samurai didn't just train their bodies. They trained their mind like it was a weapon. And the biggest threat to that mind? Desire. Uncontrolled craving. The hunger that never actually gets satisfied. It just grows. You already know what I'm talking about. You tell yourself just 5 minutes, and then it's been 2 hours. You feel this weird mix of emptiness and shame, like you lost something, but you can't name what it was. That's not weakness. That's biology being exploited. Your brain was never built for the fire hose of stimulation modern life throws at it. The dopamine spikes, the endless novelty, the instant access. Your ancestors didn't have to fight any of that. But the samurai? They had their own version of this problem. In feudal Japan, temptation was everywhere. Pleasure districts, sake, distractions at every corner. And a warrior who indulged too much? He got slow, sloppy, dead. So they developed a philosophy, a code, and one of its core ideas was something called Mushin, which loosely translates to no mind, a state where you're so disciplined that impulses pass through you like wind through an open window. They don't grab you, they don't control you, they just move on. Sounds impossible, right? Here's where it gets interesting.
The samurai had specific practices, daily rituals, designed to kill lust before it ever got a grip. And weirdly, modern neuroscience backs all of them up. The first one, cold exposure. Samurai warriors would often submerge themselves in cold water before battle, not just for physical toughness, but because cold water immediately kills the arousal state. It pulls you out of your lizard brain and forces your prefrontal cortex back online. That's the part of your brain that makes actual decisions. 3 minutes of cold water in the morning. That's it. Sounds simple. But do it for a week and watch how differently you handle temptation the rest of the day. The second practice, the gaze discipline. Samurai were trained to control where their eyes went, not in a weird robotic way, but with intention. There's a concept in Bushido, the samurai code, about not letting your eyes linger on things that inflame desire. Because they understood something we've forgotten, attention is the gateway. You can't want what you haven't looked at, and the longer you stare, the louder the craving gets. This one's hard in 2025 because the entire digital world is engineered to catch your gaze and hold it. But awareness is the first blade. When you catch your eyes drifting towards something that's going to cost you your discipline, you redirect. No drama, no self-hatred, just a quiet redirection, like a samurai adjusting his stance. But the third practice, this one's the real game changer.
There's a practice called mokuso, a form of silent reflection the samurai would do before and after training. Basically, structured stillness. 5 to 10 minutes of just sitting with yourself. No phone, no noise, no escape. And here's why this destroys lust specifically. Lust, and really any compulsive craving, thrives in restlessness. It lives in the gap between where you are and where you wish you were. The second you're bored, uncomfortable, or lonely, the craving rushes in like water through a crack. Mokuso teaches you to sit in the discomfort, not run from it, not numb it. When you practice sitting still with nothing, no stimulation, no entertainment, you're essentially training your nervous system to stop screaming for a hit every time it feels empty. This is why monks seem so unbothered. It's not that they have weaker desires than you, it's that they've built a different relationship with discomfort. You don't have to become a monk, but 10 minutes of stillness a day, that's samurai training for the modern man. And here's the thing nobody tells you. When you combine these 3 practices, something shifts. Not overnight, but gradually, the cravings start losing their urgency. That frantic, almost desperate pull, it starts to quiet down. because you've become the kind of man who can feel the pull and choose not to follow it. That's not repression. That's power.
Here's what the samurai understood that we've completely lost in the modern world. The goal was never to be without desire. That's impossible. The goal was to be the master of desire. To be the one holding the reins, not the one getting dragged behind the horse. Every time you choose the cold shower over the warm bed, you win a small battle. Every time you redirect your gaze and close the tab, you win a small battle. Every time you sit with the discomfort instead of reaching for your phone, you win. And those small battles, they compound. Slowly, you become someone different, someone focused, someone present, someone who actually trusts himself. The samurai didn't fight lust by hating themselves for feeling it. They built systems so strong that the temptation never got traction. The sword was always sharp, the mind was always clean, and the life, the actual life they lived, was one of deep, quiet power. That's available to you too, starting today.
Look, you don't have to be perfect. No samurai was, but you can start building the habits that put you back in control. Cold exposure, gaze discipline, daily stillness. 3 simple things, brutally effective. If this hit different, drop a comment below. Just say, Mushin. I want to know who's ready to actually do the work. And if you want to go deeper on mental discipline and modern masculinity, the next video is already waiting for you. Train your mind like your life depends on it, because honestly, it does.